Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea, and today I'm here for my August wrap-up. And August has been nuts. Like, I am amazed that I read it all. It was a slightly slower reading month for me, but I still managed to read 9 books, which for me is not that many, but for most people I guess it's a lot, so I guess I should be kind of proud of that. I don't know, but let's just get into the books that I read. Now, starting off this wrap-up, like every other person on BookTube, the first book that I read in the month of August was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I think I'm actually in the minority of people here. I liked this. I'm not gonna make an entire, discussion video about this, but these are just kind of my brief thoughts about this book. I went into this with somewhat low expectations because I knew that it was going to be a screenplay. I knew that it was not going to be the 8th Harry Potter book, like I think a lot of people expected it to be. I knew that it was going to be in script form, I knew that it was going to be short, and I knew that it was going to just kind of be like a little bit of a teaser that J.K. Rowling gave Harry Potter fans to just kind of conclude the series. With that being said, I didn't expect this to read like a Harry Potter novel. It's a script, so you're not going to get the depth and the description and the development of all the characters that the actors are supposed to bring to the stage. This is literally just the dialogue with very minimal instructions and set descriptions, and all of that is supposed to be interpreted on the stage, not necessarily on the page. Oh, that was nice. I gave this 4 stars. I didn't think that it was going to be spectacular, so I was really pleasantly surprised by it. I really liked Scorpius, like everybody else. I liked being able to see the characters that I grew up with again. I didn't necessarily think that everybody lived up to what I expected them to be, which is okay. And I just really enjoyed it. I sat down and I read it in about 2.5 hours, and it was a really nice, just kind of blip into the Harry Potter world that I've been craving over the past couple years. So for that, I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. The next book that I got to this month is The Inventor Secret by Andrea Kramer, and she wrote the Nightshade series that was out a very long time ago. It was like a werewolf series that I never read. I think I own all of them, but I never actually read them. So this was my first forte of Andrea Kramer, and I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of let down. I gave this 2 stars. This is a steampunk novel about a world where the British won the war and Greek mythology is very present, and I'm not quite sure why. There were just a lot of things that I feel like I kind of skimmed over. This was one of those books where the story I think was good, the characters were interesting, but I never felt fully immersed in it. I felt like I just was kind of skim reading it, even though I wasn't. I just never got fully into it. This just wasn't really what I wanted it to be. There was some insta-love, there was love triangles, both of which I don't think were necessary to the story. I was just more interested in the, steampunk stuff, like all the gadgets and alternate history type stuff, so for that reason, I only gave this 2 stars. The next 2 books that I got to were The Queen of Shadows and The Assassin's Blade. I just finished up the Throne of Glass series in this month, and these were the last 2 that I got to. I will leave my discussion video about Sarah J. Maas books down below in case you're curious about my thoughts of these. I just can't wait for Empire Storms. That's all I gotta say. Just cannot wait. This book consumed my life for a solid, 3 days. Yep. So I gave this one 5 stars, and I gave this one 4 stars. It was still good, but it just wasn't as good as this one. Next 2 books that I got to were Curse of the Sphinx and Demigods and Monsters by Ray Wagner. I received these as part of a BookTube tour from Love and Dem Books BookTube tours and from Ray Wagner, so thank you, Ray, for sending these to me. I already did a review of both of these, and I will leave that linked down below as well. I gave both of them 4 stars. I really liked this series. It was a really cool take on Greek mythology, and I'm gonna highly recommend checking these out if you're into YA paranormal supernatural mixed with Percy Jackson-esque mythology stuff. They were just solid reads. I just really enjoyed them. The next book that I got to is The Darkest Corners by Kara Thomas. I gave this 3, maybe 3.5 stars. I don't really do half-star ratings. What am I talking about? I gave this 3 stars. The only reason being, I think I've read a lot of dark and gritty mystery thrillers lately, and this one just didn't hold the shock value that I think other ones did, and I wanted it to. That was kind of my letdown with it. I just didn't think there was enough action or suspense for a good portion of the book to keep me super intrigued, edge of the seat reading, but it was still definitely really good. I really liked the characters. The characters and the relationships were extremely realistic and extremely relatable. It was a very real friendship and a very real representation of high school kids. I actually probably would have given this actually a lower rating had it not been for the last line. This is one of those books where like the last line of it was just like, it's what I want from a thriller, where it just kind of drops something on you and then it's over. So for that reason, I gave it 3 stars. Definitely check it out if you're kind of getting into the like YA mystery thriller genre, because this one's pretty good. I think it was kind of well-rounded. The next book that I got to is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I really liked this. I kind of put off reading it for so long because I heard mixed reviews about it, that it was kind of slow and hard to get into. I disagree. I think this was just phenomenal, and it's an adult fantasy story, and it reads like an adult fantasy, which means it's somewhat more dense and detailed and slower moving in order to build kind of a bigger and more vast world. And I think it was done very well. The main character is a 19-year-old girl who gets this kingdom kind of just dumped in her lap. And I think that she was extremely realistic. I think she was naive in times that she should have been naive, and extremely brave and knowledgeable in times that she should have been. So I think she was just a great character. Other characters were great. I loved the mace. I loved the fetch. There were just so many good characters that I can't wait to read more of. And this book just set the tone for the rest of the series in a very kind of quick but well-developed way. And I gave basically no description of this book. This book is basically about 19-year-old Kelsey, who is coming back to the kingdom that she rightfully is the heir to, and has kind of been in turmoil and chaos and has been kind of overseen by really shady people. She has finally come of age and inherited these kind of powers. She gets these jewels, like sapphires, that hold power for the queen, and she is just basically ready to come back in and take over her kingdom and own it, and it's awesome. I just really liked this, so definitely looking forward to the next one. Gave this one 4 stars. Hopefully the next one will be just as good as this one. And the last book that I got to this month was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I don't know why I put off reading this for so long, because The Sky is Everywhere is one of my favorite books in the YA contemporary genre. God, this book was good, guys. This one was like the best one that I read this month. I gave it 5 stars. I was gonna give you some quotes, but I could literally like dog ear and highlight this entire book with quotes, because her writing is just so delicious. Like, she is the most poetic and lyrical writer I think I've ever read. Jandy Nelson needs to be like the representation of YA contemporary for people who have a bad perception of what YA contemporary is, because her writing is just so good. In case you've been living under a rock, this is about 2 twins, and it's told through dual perspectives, from Noah when he is 13 and from Jude when she is 16. And something has happened in that time frame that has kind of driven them apart, and you're kind of going along with them in different time frames, learning about them, learning about their relationship and what happened between them and in their family. And meanwhile, this book is just flooded with art. I loved it. Everything about this was beautiful and artistic and just so touching. God, I haven't read a book this good in so long. It was just, oh, God, it was good. I know I'm really behind on this bandwagon, but I'm hopping aboard now. So that is everything that I got to this month. Only 9 books. I say only 9 books, like that's not that many books. That's a lot of books. But that's all I got to this month. I hope you guys read some amazing books. Leave whatever book was your favorite one this month in the comments, because I want to know, because for me it was I'll Give You the Sun. It was just so good. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys are reading some amazing books, and I'll see you in the next one.